that music and fashion has now fused into this one arena, and you're seeing that. Wait a minute, I got a relationship with Diddy because when I was at Sean John, my extension was 13, his was 10.
Right.
But he has no clue I rap.
So you were still doing that at the time.
But I was already respected as one of 10 designers. Well, I'm going to tell him that I'm one in a million rappers.
Gotcha.
So I just never talked about it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? With Russell Simmons, when I was the head designer at Pepsi, he comes to my booth. My old boss, Danny Shaw, was his apprentice at one point. So he comes to the booth to check Danny, and he's like, yo, who's handling you? So he pointed me out. That's how I met him. And he feels the denim, and he's like, yo, what is he doing with this? This is crazy, this and the third. So I'm getting compliments from Mr. Crush Groove, who still don't know I rap. Nobody knows I rap.
Right.
But I got a relationship with him. He next time I see him, he greets me by name.
Right.
Do the fashion, I do the music. So you'll be surprised, Snoop. All these people I've met and I have these relationships with do the fashion. As fashion, they're like this. They're like, I'm the guy to talk to. I'm the guy to speak to. This, that, and the third. Musically, I'm obscure. So it's
now
one.
You skimmed over it, but I don't think it should have been skimmed. You said head designer at Pepsi.
Yeah.
So you talking about soft drinks.
500.
So that is a whole nother level outside of the box.
Nah, the beauty of that was I ventured into licensed apparel, which was a blessing. So there was a company called Double Group that hired me as a menswear designer, and they had the Pepsi license.
That's crazy.
So at 26, I was the head designer for Pepsi clothing for 2 years, and then I left there and went on to work for another company, the Assis Group, through the same licensing firm, and became the head designer for Pepsi Women. So I was with Pepsi for about 4 years.
Wow. Now, one of the interesting things that you also touched on was, fashion is kind of like an extended lane of hip hop.
Absolutely.
Now, I remember.
Thank you, Coconut.
Yeah. Yes. Shout out to Cross Colors too.
And Sir Benny Miles.
Yes, Sir Benny Miles. I remember the wave caps from back in the day. I look young, but I've been around. One of the things that Jay-Z had mentioned, I think he used to wear a lot of Iceberg, okay? And he reached out to the head designer of Iceberg, said, why don't you send me some free stuff because, I'm wearing your clothes, I'm making you hot out the streets. And I think the guy said he refused to do a deal with Jay-Z. So the whole rockaware thing came out of the necessity where it's like, you know what, we rocking these people's clothes, we representing their culture, we're introducing it to our culture, but they're not even trying to play ball with us. So what's going on with that? So once again, hip-hop showing its strength and saying, we can make you hot, but we'll make it ourselves. We'll make it ourselves and we'll do it, man. So salute to you for that, man.
Man, again, it was out of necessity. Again, fashion and music. A lot of my relationships came like with Mobb Deep and these other guys, Jada, these dudes, because there was a time when they weren't the biggest names and they weren't getting packages. I was the connect at a brand. So it was like, their stylist or somebody, I need something for such and such, and this person's not sending it, or they're not sending it. So I pack them up a box and send it over. Salute my partner, Charles Thomas. That's actually Jay's brother-in-law, but he was my guy at Rockaware. So I would freelance over there from time to time. But he was one of the guys that sponsored me and made sure that my Rockaware packages came in. And when I started hosting these couple of television shows, and he made sure that I got things so that I would try to look the part. Salute Phil Pavone at Mecca, the same thing. And Lot 29, when nobody cared I was rapping, they made sure that I had packages coming like everybody else. So
that's dope, man.
It's a blessing.
And that also speaks to the power of networking, and also speaks to the power of a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Your network is your net worth. Absolutely, I swear by that. It's not. People used to say this game is about who you know. No, it's not. It's about who knows you.
Right.
Because I can give you my number, but if you call and I don't pick up, what does it mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I also say not just who you know and the fact that they know you, but how they know you.
Yeah.
Because you can know somebody of being lazy, you can know somebody as being unmotivated, you can know somebody for being a thief. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that person, but how do they know you? Do they know you in a positive light? Will they bring you into a situation that can help you based upon your work ethic and just you as a character, as a person?
It touches on what I teach my sons. That branding isn't just in business.
Right.
You have a personal brand as an individual. When your name comes up in conversation, what does that conjure?
Right.
Who are you? So every move that you make, you have to think it's your personal brand. And if you can understand branding when it comes down to selling an item, then you have to understand how branding works in selling yourself.
True story.
So they became, I was trying to make marketing geniuses out of them with themselves being the product.
Right.
it's important to really understand that your personal brand takes you way further than any talent can ever take you.
That's
Any
a dream.
money can ever take you.
Right.
You know, your brand will get you the money. Your brand will get your talent heard if people know you to be whatever they need or whatever is missing.
That is a jewel, ladies and gentlemen. That's a jewel. Now, we were talking a little bit earlier, man, and I wanted to touch on your international status because I know that passport is stamped thoroughly, man.
Couple of them.
Stamped thoroughly. I wanted to ask you, what is the difference between the love that you receive overseas in terms of hip hop as compared to the love in the States? Because it seems like overseas they have a little bit more of an affinity for, I would say, the essence of hip hop more or less than what's trendy here in the States.
In the States, hip hop is a soundtrack to the youth. Overseas, it's a culture. Hip hop is Judaism. Hip hop is Buddhist. Hip hop is Christian. Hip hop is literally a culture. It's what defines me. It's who I am. It's how I dress. It's how I carry myself. It's what dictates my responses. It's what dictates my impulses. And I'm very seasoned from both sides of, I'm of a R&B soul household, obviously, you know, but I was born into and raised by hip hop, you know. So I can relate when I go overseas to these people that were born emulating and trying to aspire. They have so much respect for our culture because they're not in it.
That's deep.
They don't take it for granted. Like, we're in it, we're of it, so we don't even realize what we are. Just like how we're lost in so many other places, you know, the woke generation, right? But as lost as we are, we take things for granted. No one ever really reads the book they've read. You understand what I'm saying?
Say it again.
No one really reads the book they've read. Like,
Right.
It's the things that you don't know that you aspire to. The things you know, you kind of and you glance over and you keep it moving. And sometimes it loses its impact. What I love is that on certain terms, you can really revisit and reinvent and retouch on things that are so important, like the culture, and realizing the music and rap is nothing but the soundtrack to the culture.
Right.
You know, and that's what they are. Like, overseas, these kids don't speak the language but know the words, literally the English words, word for word. These guys have learned English through hip hop the way we learn to read through comics.
Crazy.
At one point, you
Right.
know, it's that vital to them. Hashtag. It's that kind of thing, and you see it.
Yeah.
You see it. It's a passion and such a respect. Like, think about this: in a temperature where the United States looks like trash to the world,
Especially
that
now.
blue passport can almost set you back when you get off a plane.
I believe it.
But if you're a son of hip hop, or a daughter of hip hop, or a citizen of hip hop,
Royalty.
dude, there's a whole different culture that embraces you, and they you're American, but you're one of those.
Right.
Oh, come on. You're not one of those guys.
Right,
you know?
right.
And it's funny how it works, man. Like, there's this brotherly. I have yet to go to a country as Mic Handz and not get completely embraced from the time I step off the plane till the time I get back.
Wow.
And I've traveled as Christopher too.
Okay.
You know, with fashion, I had to go and do things for quality control in factories, China and Turkey and things like that, Amsterdam, Pakistan, but totally different trip. Yeah, totally different trip.
How important is it for somebody from Brownsville or somebody from Jersey City or somebody from Newark or any hood in America? How important is it to get out there and travel? How much has it changed your life as an artist, also as a businessman?
Well, one perspective, it lends itself to my content because I can write from different perspectives. There's no hypotheticals. I can write more vivid pictures. Just me being able to tell you about the transatlantic flip, or telling you about using different adapters so that you can charge your phone, because the current is different in different places, and the currency is different in different places. These are things you can't really speak on unless you've lived it. Nobody remembers to tell you that you need a converter for your plug when you go to charge your phone.
I heard that, but I didn't know that.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, people tell you, I overseas and I do this and I have passport stamps and the smallest thing.
Yeah.
How'd you charge your phone? You know? And then the thing is, can you use the same one in Germany that you use in the UK? These are the things that, you know, a lot of people, you can't unless you're a part of it. And then you get to look through the mirror from a different place, man. Like, the United States, I'm a patriot because I love my people.
Yeah.
But it sucks. And when you go everywhere else in the world, you really realize it. You realize that, one, it sucks. Two, you realize that we're not the necessity that we think we are.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I have a friend of mine, first time I went to Italy, I have a friend of mine who played ball from my park in Italy. You'd have no clue that he had, like, Charles Barkley status over there. There's cardboard cutouts of him, there's deodorant commercials, he's on the newspaper, all kind of stuff that we have no clue at home he's doing. Because we think if it's not the NBA, it's not. Meantime, he's living. He got a fountain in his driveway, he's living. But you would not know. Because we're so arrogant and thinking, you know, we're what we are, and we're just not, man. So it gives you appreciation of the world from a world scope. It gives you appreciation of existence and people from a world scope, which makes you think do different things.
That's amazing, man. One more question before we wrap it up. We could really do this interview for a long time, bro.
Madrid?
Yeah.
I got to sign a person. I've never done that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to sign somebody.
You talking about an artist?
No, I got to sign a person. Like,
okay.
Like, here, sign me.
Oh, wow.
Paper, autograph me.
Wow.
So yeah, that don't happen in my house. That don't happen in New York at all.
You toured with Smith & Wesson.
I did.
You toured with Mobb Deep.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about that experience with a little bit limited time that we had.
Well, how about this?
Yeah.
I'll do it real fast.
Okay.
The Hell on Earth tour,
20-year
anniversary of Mobb Deep, Hell on Earth. Smith & Wesson went out with Mobb Deep and being part of the boot camp, Bucktown family.
Yes.
And being one of the more active and seasoned young guys we have, they gave me the shot. So put myself on the road, followed the tour, and I rocked it every night I could.
Oh, man.
Secondly, moving forward, later that year, I did the tour Wavy with Razzcast and Planet Asia. We went up back in the same region, banged out almost the same way. Just we was like 6 guys in a Honda minivan.
Making it happen.
We did the work. Came back. Then I jumped on the Red Man, Method Man run with me, and I took my partner Rockness from Helter Skelter with me, and we banged out with that tour. In a nutshell, I thought I missed it. I started rapping when these guys were at the top of their A game, and that's the reason I wanted to rhyme. I wanted to get good so I could do a show with this. I can go on the Up and Smoke tour. I can do these. And by the time I got good, they tried to send me out with Young Bird. They tried to send me out with these weirdos. And it was like, not for nothing. Even if I wanted to play the groupie game, y'all my daughter age, I can't even play with that. So
it's a different caliber anyway, man.
The fact that I was able to tap back into the guys that I wanted to work with is all I care about. So I don't need 1 million sales. I just need 100,000 that mess with me.
Got you.
All over the planet. So that's really it. And truthfully, think about it, whether it's Waka Flocka fans or it's Coogee Rap fans, if the place only holds 350, it only holds 350 no matter who it is, right?
That's true.
So I just need a packed house. I don't care who it is.
I feel you, my brother. Hey, we're going to keep it moving right now. This is Vital. This is Mic Handz. I already named all his titles, so you need to log on michandz.com.
Absolutely.
That's DZHANDZ, okay? Spell it the way we know how to spell it. Spell it the way the culture instructs you to spell it. Mic Handz, one of the illest entrepreneurs, CEOs, promoters. I can't even run it all down. My name is D.Bail. VitalGroundz.com. Y'all check us out, all right?
Hold on.
Okay, we got something
It
else.
would not be right.
Yeah.
If I did not plug December 19th.
Right on.
Rap Starter Series. I star in that.
Oh.
That airs December 19th, 8:30, 5:30 on Pacific, on industrymuscle.com and everywhere that online content is. And I also just joined the cast of Project Heat.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Appreciate that. Project Heat every Monday drops, by the grace of God, so 200 some odd thousand views per episode. And Hollywood J, I'm coming for you. Judgment.
We'll have all the Mic Handz social media information below so y'all can check them out. Follow the journey. Vital Handz, this is our culture. Peace and love.
Mic Handz, Vital Handz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mindset, get it how you live like a non-vet. Running through these alleys east side of Old Prospect.